I should be packing. I should prepare my bags. I should not sit here and film a video. But I promised, and here it goes. Okay, so it's cold outside. Well, it's December. I went outside to film for you some footage on the new Osmo Pocket, and I really like this thing. There are some issues. Obviously, there's always issues with everything. Let's get into the detail. First off, this is really small and tiny and easy to carry and very unobtrusive. It will give you the same stabilized images than this thing would give you, with a phone attached to it, which then makes it a massive undertaking depending on how big your phone is. Obviously, if you have a massive phone, well, that is like, really? I was walking around and there were people on the road, and I was filming while I was walking, and at least one gentleman, he smiled at me, and you'll see it, I have it on the video clip. I wasn't this crazy lady filming. I wasn't interfering with people's sense of privacy. I wasn't getting attention for something. So that's something I feel really good about. This little thing, on the other hand, it's so small and a lot of people don't even know what it is yet. So we're kind of going with the stealth mode here until everybody else has it too. Because my prediction is that every family is going to get one of those. I can't see how they wouldn't. I filmed everything I filmed today. The clip that you're going to see in a bit is all filmed without the phone. I filmed it just by looking at the screen. And I'm telling you, that is a problem. So if I'm wearing my sunglasses and not my reading glasses, I will just have to guesstimate what I'm doing. Because it literally is very tiny. As I'm saying in the video, that this is only a 1-inch screen, and we knew that before we bought it, and I know that my eyes are not great. So younger generation is going to have much less issues with this. Older people are going to find a problem, but even younger people will have an issue really using it, because for once it's not a wide screen. It's almost like a square screen, so you only see the center of your frame. You just have to guesstimate. But again, the stealth mode means that you're not even going to look much on it. You're just going to hold it like this, so you can't even look at the screen. But it is better than the alternative when you're holding a GoPro, for example, and you're trying to film yourself. You don't see yourself. You just see the GoPro. You don't know if you're in the frame or not, if something going on in the back of you. This can do that. You can see wherever that camera is, you're seeing it's a front-facing screen that is different from all the other cameras I have. All the other cameras I have are back-facing screens. So the operator sees the screen, but the person in front of the lens doesn't see the screen. Except for the iPhone, you can switch back and forth, but the iPhone camera is not as good. The front camera is not as good as the back camera. This one is the same camera front and back because it'll turn, it'll switch over. So just to show you again. Okay, so this is now facing the front, it's facing me. Okay, so when I'm clicking this button 3 times real quickly, now the whole camera moves, and now you still see nothing but. And then back again. So the whole camera moves. So you can always see the screen, but your camera moves. So I think that's a great idea, and I love it. The on-screen commands, although the screen is really small, are fairly easy. You just gotta get a hang of it. You gotta have the motion memory. You gotta know which way to go, left, right, center, up and down. I had some issues with moving the gimbal up and down when I wanted to film the pathway or the trees. There was some issues. I gotta figure that one out. The next thing that I found was that the 120 frames per second slow motion is a lot grainier than the rest of the videos because it zooms in very tight, which is okay. Slow motion is for motion, so you're filming a subject moving, if it be a waterfall or a person walking or something, you're filming a subject in slow motion, so you don't necessarily need slow motion for a panorama shot, which you could, but it crops in fairly tight in order to achieve that. So I'm not sure if there's a fix coming for that, maybe in a later firmware update. Speaking of firmware update, I'm jumping all over the place again. When I unboxed this thing on Wednesday when I got it, on the 12th, 3 days before the official launch, and I plugged it in, it told me that there was a firmware update on there. And I'm like, already? It's not even launched and you already have a firmware update? And that's when a bunch of problems had been fixed with this firmware update. My concern was the audio, which the audio sounded really bad in the first few videos. Well, not really bad, but pretty bad. They have fixed that. And the audio is really useful now. I don't think I'm going to get a microphone. This is going to be mostly for my B-roll. There's not going to be a lot of talking going on in this device. I'm not a camera team. I'm just a woman walking down the street talking to some stick device that looks like a vape thing, like a crazy woman, which I am. The last thing that I noticed today, I have not finished the movie yet. I have not put the sound on it or anything like that, the little video clip that I filmed for you. But I noticed that some of the motions are a little bit more jittery than I want. Mind you, I filmed this video today in 1080, 30 frames per second. I was hoping it would be 24, but somehow the settings mixed up and I thought, whatever, I'm not even going to bother right now. This is just a quick test between suitcases. Main points: small, handy, quality of the images is great. Specifically, when you watch the clip at the end of this, you will see from light to dark, from light to dark. It's a very smooth transition. Battery time, you will have to bring a battery pack with you if you're going on a day trip. You got to remember, film, turn it off, film, turn it off, film, turn it off. You can't just film constantly. It's not a big battery. The case for this device has an opening on the bottom, so while it's in the case, you can plug in a USB-C cord and then your battery pack, and while it's sitting in your purse or in your pocket, you can charge it until it's charged up again and ready to go. So keep that in mind. It's still smaller than all of this, and the battery pack you can use to power up your phone too, whatever you want to do with it. So that's my recommendation. Bring a battery pack with you if you're going on a day trip with this thing. Next, yes, I love that it's black. The gray is not a good color. No, I like gray. I have a lot of gray things. I love gray for clothes. That stuff that tech, I want black. So I like black. So I'm glad that they chose to make this thing black. Next, if you want to do some serious filming, since this has face track and it will follow you along, the best idea would be to invest the money and buy the little foot that is about to launch as well, that will make this a wireless device. So basically it's a little bit bigger footprint than the bottom of this. You sit it in and then you can put the charging cable on the side if you want. It's like almost like a cradle kind of, but it gives wireless features to this device, and it also acts like a stable foot. Set it up on the phone to frame you and then walk on by like you had a cameraman with you, and you don't need a cameraman. I have 2 family members that travel with me. They refuse flat out to do any filming for me, so this is a godsend. I will pre-order or order this accessory. It's expensive, but it adds so many functions to this device. It's going to be great. Then you have the full potential of that. It's fairly stable to put it down like this, but the head is fairly top heavy. because that's all metal, and the head is heavier than the bottom. So you need a little bit of a foot, and there's a package coming out with 3 items. It's the command wheel that comes with it, the little wireless foot, and also a kind of a cage for it where you can mount it on your GoPro accessories. I will order it when it comes available. Yes, I know it's yet more money, but it adds functionality to this device. And I have to tell you the truth, while I didn't appreciate having to walk through the cold and talking to myself like an idiot, I did appreciate having this option of a camera that doesn't make me look like a fool from far. It only makes me look like a fool from close up. So most people that I'm going to encounter on the street in my walks or in my travels will not think that I'm a complete idiot. Most people will think I'm just somebody carrying a vape pen. It looks like doesn't it look like a vape pen? Oh, I don't know, a pipe. Oh, when you're holding it, make sure you don't cover the second microphone on the bottom. So what I've been doing, I'm holding it like this with my thumb close to the buttons, and my little finger on the outer half of the device as support, so that the microphone is never covered. So you gotta find a way of holding this, or you can hold it like this. Just make sure that the 2 microphones, one here and one on the bottom here, that they're not covered when you're filming with sound. But most of the time when this is used for B-roll, you're gonna cut some music over it anyway, so it's gonna be okay. Get the fast cards. Get at least 128 if you can afford it. I wouldn't go with the 256 memory card, because these are expensive, and if it fails, it fails. Have 228 ones. You have the same kind of memory, and then just swap them out. They're so tiny. Yeah, so these are my first findings. I am very much looking forward to using this in Germany, airport, until they arrest me, but things like that, and then clip them all together and have a little bit of a video of my travels. I'm looking forward to that. I'm still going to bring my camera to Germany just because it's great in low light, but I'm thinking most of my filming I'm going to do with this one, because even my family is very camera shy. My parents are super camera shy. My mom always like, put that camera away. So filming with this, I'm wondering how much they're gonna complain. So we'll see. Have a little look at the video that I put together for you. It's boring as hell. It's totally unprofessional. I have no schooling whatsoever when it comes to camera guiding, what to film, where to film. Like seriously, it's going to be crappy, but this is just to give you an impression what this little thing can do in the hands of a complete, utter novice. And you tell me if you like it or not. Like I promised, here's my first little review after owning the Osmo Pocket for 2 days and using it for 30 minutes. I hope this was helpful in some way. I hope this swayed you either way, either buying it or not buying it. My prediction is that this is going to be selling like hotcakes. It is expensive, but it is going to sell for all these people that don't do bungee jumping or skiing or scuba diving, people that do not need a waterproof action cam, people who have little children, people who enjoy filming instead of taking pictures. This is going to be a big seller for DJI. So congrats to them for coming up with something that as useful as this. And I hope we will see each other again in the next year. Thank you so much again for being here. I wish you a very, very Merry Christmas and a wonderful transition into New Year. And I hope I find you again happy and healthy in the new year here on this channel. Thanks for watching. See you again. Bye. Okay, now this is going to sound really stupid. Somebody comes along the same way as I'm going, they're going to think I'm going to talk into myself. It's kind of retarded, but whatever. I'm doing this for you, so you better appreciate it. Anyway, I've been going on this path now, and I've been taking some pictures, and I tried to slow motion, and I don't know what the hell everything looks. I mean, I did bring my reading glasses, but for crying out loud, I can't see that little tiny screen. It's supposed to be just a indicator that I'm in the center of the screen, which I am. That's what I'm seeing. But to frame anything, it's difficult. So this is something you have to keep in mind. But we knew that before we got this, right? So, sorry, this is going up and down here. I don't know how shaky this is going to be. I'm shaking this camera like crazy. I'm hoping it's not going to be like nausea-inducing, like my face. My nose is running. I really, really hope you appreciate what I'm doing for you right now. This is not the right season to try out these things.